I have been informed that I started the podcast last week wrong, or we started the podcast last week wrong, and our guest was supposed to do the intro.
No,
I apologize.
He realized that we said there's a possibility of that, but we didn't have to say whether we would.
I know he did that in a reply comment.
Yeah.
But this week, this is us alone, so I can't have our guest do it. So welcome to take 8 of episode 1 of season 2 of Video Games Are Hard.
Of chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
That's not a thing.
With I welcome Average Trey to the podcast. I'm Sided Williams. We're recording.
You know what? I like doing the intro, even though there's the guest on, because we are the intro pros. We're so good at this.
We need to think of something. I don't know what we need to think of, but we need to think of it.
We are the intro pros, okay?
Yeah, we're really good at them.
Yeah.
We're here this week. I'm freshly napped.
I've been waiting for Sid to wake up from his nap.
I wrote one of my notes for the podcast today is me waking up from my nap and being like, that is weird. So that's one of my 3 notes that I have for the podcast this week, so get excited.
Wait, what was that? What?
It's just, I looked at it, like I thought of it in my brain at like 5:58 p.m., right?
Oh, wait, you didn't actually say what the topic was.
No, I didn't say what the topic was. It was just my reaction.
Your topic was waking up and saying, and that's it.
Yeah. But
okay.
but the thought was in between the
all right.
waking up and then
Okay.
Right?
I feel I get you now.
You get it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're here to talk about video games and how hard they are. But first...
Oh, so hard.
First, I want to talk about last week's podcast really quick. And the thumbnail... I think last week's the first podcast I didn't listen to all the way. Or
really?
re-listen to. Yes. I think so. Maybe the one beforehand I didn't. But I've been listening to them all the way up. And just listening to the whole podcast. But last week, we didn't really talk about it, but the thumbnail for YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Dark Souls 3 Man and
the DK bongos, which I just made up on the spot to make a funny thumbnail.
We didn't really collaborate that much on the podcast last week, other than the recording itself. You just kind of went, this is the title, and I was like, this is a good idea.
Uh-huh.
And then you made the thumbnail, and I was like, this is a good thumbnail. And then you posted it, and I'm just like, perfect. And I want to congratulate you on the thumbnail.
Thank you.
I think it's really good. I think it's really awesome. I think it would be great if somebody actually did, because I think it would be theoretically possible for somebody to play Dark Souls 3
with
on
DK bongos.
That would be awesome.
First of all, I don't think it is possible with DK bongos.
You can
I don't
plug...
even see. So the thing is with DK bongos, right? It's For those who don't know, there's a game on the GameCube called, actually 3 games, Donkey Konga, Donkey Konga 2, Donkey Konga 3. Oh wait, 4 games, Donkey Kong Jungle Beats. And they are games specifically set up to use the special DK Bongo controller, which I actually owned growing up. I had Donkey Konga 1. And you can, because it's its own controller that just plugs into the controller port, you can use it to play other games, but as you would imagine, to play a game like Mario Sunshine, where you actually have to use the control stick and move around, I think all you can really do is maybe jump and dive, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no way to really move in a 3D space, so I don't think that'd work for Dark Souls too well.
You have to with the Wii U adapter or the Switch adapter, I guess. You somehow you plug it into your computer and then make the input so that you can move around with the Donkey Kongo, what are they called? The
DK bongos.
The DK bongos. With the DK bongos,
so that
you move around.
There's actually, I believe, there are 4 different inputs you can do. There is right side, left side, both sides, and clapping. Because it has its own, it has its own microphone, and it recognizes one of the note types in Donkey Konga is a clap.
Uh-huh.
And you know how there's extended notes in Guitar Hero where you hold the button down? There are extended notes in Donkey Konga where you just rapidly keep hitting one side.
Yeah, like a drum fill.
Yeah. And there's also a clap variant, like a clap hold where you just keep clapping. The key to doing the extended clap is just yell into the mic or blow into the mic. And it just constantly clap, 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 clap. That's the trick I found out growing up. It's kind of to get more score,
But how do we translate that to Dark Souls 3? I don't know. We'll think about it.
I had an idea. What if you had some way to combine a clap and a note, and then you know what? Okay, we'll figure it out.
And then it would be a different input, and then it would be slightly left.
We need to find a way to have more than 4 inputs and a way to walk around somehow.
With a Donkey Kong bongo drum for Dark Souls 3.
See, that kind of reminds me of the thing way back in the day where someone played Overwatch using a bunch of bananas. You see that?
No.
There was like a viral thing where someone just, I don't know what they did. Somehow like pressing on bananas caused their character to like do different things. Okay. And they were actually playing Overwatch by just touching bananas, I believe.
What character were they playing?
I do not remember. This was like so long ago.
If it wasn't Mercy, I would be so surprised.
This was back when I actually played Overwatch, so it was 2016. So we're talking ancient history, pretty much.
If it was anybody that required aiming and shooting, that would be very surprising.
They probably weren't doing so well, but they were at least, giving it a shot.
Hey, Mercy players, I respect them. I used to be one when I used to play Overwatch. There is some skill to it, but I could be convinced that you could play Mercy with bananas.
No, especially Lucio. You just sort of AoE everyone. And then
yeah, dude. Day one Lucio was so easy to play.
Peasy. You just heal everyone, speed them up, and you're done.
Yeah, and then they buffed Lucio, and I went, I'm gonna play Mercy.
So big news. All right, big news topic we got going on here.
We got big news.
For a game we don't really follow too close. I mean, I used to speedrun Mario Kart Double Dash, so I'm kind of adjacent to the scene. But Mario Kart 64, all right, for the first time in history, and for those who've seen the Summoning Salt video, there's been times in history where people came close. However, for the first time in history, someone has managed to obtain 32 out of 32 non-shortcut, like official time trial category records at the same time. And that is a Dan Burbank, I believe is his name. He's Dan Burbank from America, USA. He has what
America, USA.
America, or USA, if you will.
Yeah. Aka.
Yeah, Aka, USA. So Dan Burbank, he achieved for the first time in history an AF of 1. And for those who haven't seen my Time Trials Explained video, AF is short for average finish, which is essentially you add up all your rankings divided by 32 to take like the average of all your rankings. That's your AF. He has a 1 AF, meaning just 1 on every single thing. And there is some minor controversy with this character because for those who don't know, back in 2020, there was a mass on hoarding, which is technically legal, right? There's no rule against like stockpiling runs, then releasing them all at once to just like suddenly have a bunch of really good times.
So, sorry to cut you off, but is this along the same lines of what we were? Because I know nothing about this. When you say for everybody that doesn't know in the podcast land, I also don't know anything.
Yeah.
This includes me. But so when you say mass on hoarding, this is kind of the same BM / not really that we were talking about last week with the Rixer.
No, you see, last week was different because in the GoldenEye thing, there was like actually a brand new skip that a conglomerate of people were just keeping secret from the rest of the community.
Yeah.
Which I'd argue is way more BM. Like that's actually just like, if you discover something, you should probably just tell the community and then don't be weird about it. But this was simply hoarding like really good times that, I mean, using strats we already know exist.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'd say it's not nearly as BM. And like honestly, even though it's kind of frowned upon, there's like nothing really wrong with it overall, I'd say.
Yeah, it was just like I was just keeping my own progress a secret from all of you guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
And essentially Dan was doing it back in the day because he felt like it was the only way he was able to attain world champ status, which he did become the world champ back then because of that.
Dude, he's so right though.
Mm-hmm.
He's so right because when you like even in a not very individual level focused game like Sunshine, like Mario Kart's probably to the extreme where if somebody beats your time and you're one of a top player, you're just like, oh, I got to beat that.
Right.
Like there are so many players like that, even in Sunshine, that if you bop their time, just like we were talking about with the Wiggler the other week with Tober. It's just like you took his record from him and he was just like, well, I'm right there and I'm going to take it right back.
Especially with us because people view us as like the boomers of Sunshine. So when we managed to get a record in Sunshine, every like a light goes off in other people's heads, like, oh wait, this is a free record. Holy shit.
Yeah, in specifically Pianta 2, to dive into the weeds of Super Mario Sunshine for a second, the Piantissimo level of Pianta Village. Trey, how long did Oatflaker have the record for that? Do you think?
Okay. Yeah, for this
I know we're getting into the weeds.
This is a like one specific level example, but it's happened multiple times.
Yeah.
So Oatflaker had the Pianta 2 IL record for at least a few months, maybe even a year. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a long time.
We're talking like in-game time for racing Piantissimo, and it was like, what, like a 12.61 or something? And Oatflaker just like had that for a year or whatever. And then one day, actually, funnily enough, when I was listening back to a podcast editing it, I was just grinding Pianta 2 along with it just to like be productive. And I managed to beat the record by a frame. Got like a 12.57, I believe. And I was like, oh, sick, new record. All right. I post it, and within like 5 or maybe 15 minutes, Ouija beats it by another frame.
Yes.
And then like 30 minutes later, beats it by like a few more frames. I'm like, all right, well, there you go. Like, what we're getting at is when you immediately post your time, it immediately like instills this feeling in others, like, oh, maybe I should try that out too. Or like maybe, oh, it's that guy getting it. I could definitely beat that.
Yeah. Trey and I definitely are more likely in the Sunshine community. There are definitely people people are more likely to have the reaction of, oh, wait, that guy has the record. Well, I'll take it.
Whereas if you see Equivocal Genius or Guy get a record, you're like, damn, that must be really good.
I'm not
even going to try. I'm not even going to try to beat that. But when we get a record, it's like, oh, this is free. I'm going to try to beat that back.
Oh, well, okay, so Oatflaker's time was bad.
So
I didn't know.
Yeah, it proves Oatflaker was a fraud.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I didn't get it because Oatflaker was getting it, but now Trey has it. Well, now, dumb me.
And if this sounds overly cynical, it's not, because it's true. Okay,
it's happened so many times.
Yeah. Going back to Mario Kart 64. So yeah, back in the day, back in 2020, Dan intentionally hoarded times to unveil them all at once. He became world champ for like a week, and his rival, arch nemesis Matthias Rustemeyer, I believe is his name. I'm going to call him MR for short.
Thank you.
MR was the world champ for quite a long time, and he was not so pleased by that. He was like, dude, that's just really bad sportsmanship. Why would you not just, say what your records were when you got them? This gave me no chance to like defend myself, I guess you could say.
Sounds like he's butthurt.
Yeah, that's and actually, that's funny you mentioned that. I'll get into that eventually.
Oh, okay, good.
It's actually flowing along with that. So, and then after that, it sort of like lit a fire under MR's ass. He's like, okay, I'm gonna grind really hard, keep my throne.
I'm hoarding my times.
And actually, what's funny with this is that in my Why Do Speedrunners Hate Their Runs video, as an example in a certain one of my topics I covered, I used the example of Dan continuing to be... Yeah, you remember this now?
Yeah, I do remember.
The example of Dan continuing to be modest despite getting world champ, so he doesn't look foolish when he immediately gets kicked off his throne.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very common thing as well.
Yeah.
But, so after that, MR reclaimed his records pretty quickly. He was still pretty much on top. And I haven't been following the Mario Kart scene too closely, but I guess Dan just started going like really ham and really started improving a lot, and legitimately, without hoarding, got 32 out of 32. Like some of them being tied records, some of them being untied. And here we are, he just has all the records, like legitimately, after what was considered kind of scummy about a year ago. He climbed up there fair and square, and it's pretty crazy to see. However, there was sort of backlash, and MR actually posted his resignation from the game, his retirement.
Oh!
And, I don't want to say it was entirely because of Dan, but it was like very shortly after that happened, and he lost like all his records.
Uh-huh.
Or at least he still has like quite a few tied records. He's not like no records left. I'd say like a third of Dan's records are tied with MR, but whatever. He was just like, I don't find it fun anymore. And this is actually a good point, because if you don't find it fun, grinding for whatever you're doing, like you may as well just like not force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
So I respect that. But I don't know, he was saying things like, oh, he didn't give me a chance to defend myself, and he was using excuses from things which, okay, I could understand back in the day when Dan actually did hoard stuff. But considering he stopped hoarding stuff now, that should just be in the past, and you shouldn't really, take it as bad sportsmanship anymore.
So how long ago was the hoarding situation?
I think it was like summer of last year.
Okay.
And then, even though Dan had to legitimately claw his way back and like stream all his attention, there was like a rule put on him to where, because of what he did, he had to stream whenever he played the game going forward.
Dude, that's so weird. What a weird rule.
Yeah, that is pretty weird, but I mean, like, it is what happened.
I can't imagine any other game doing that.
Dude, it's especially weird in the context of like, that's like such a recent problem, because back in the days before streaming, you couldn't even stream at all. You had no choice but to hoard sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's really more of a modern day issue, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely like, oh, now we have the access to this. Now we have to do this.
Yeah. And there was actually a Kotaku article written about the 32 out of 32 records, and MR gave his own input. And all I'm gonna say is there were comments to the Kotaku article being like, man, this MR guy sounds really butthurt. What a sore loser. And I was like, I kind of see it the same way, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't know how to really look at it. I did yell it sounds kind of butthurt, but like,
yeah.
Just put yourself in his spot. You're like the top player of whatever game you're playing, and then but like number 2 in the world.
Still like really good player, obviously.
Hordes gets up there. You have to be like, you look at all of these times just at the same time. It's like I'm watching Code Geass or Geass or whatever the fuck it's
Code
an anime, and there's a lot of points where all of the enemy troops just die. So it's just like lost on like on a data screen where it's just all these different troops.
Oh shit!
Just get knocked out. So it's like all of his records are fine. And then in an instance, it's just like lost. Yeah,
I can see why that's bad, but considering that wasn't the case with this recent uprise, I don't see how I can still make that argument.
Yeah, I guess he just doesn't find it fun anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I 100% get that. If you don't find it fun, just be like, yeah, I retire because I don't want to grind anymore.
Yeah.
But he still seemed like he had like really ill will toward Dan after all the stuff that happened. It's just like, dude, at some point you gotta let it go, man. That's my stance on it, but
yeah, we don't know what like people, what their actual interactions are. Maybe he just doesn't like Dan as a person. Maybe Dan's a dick.
mean, yeah, we're viewing this totally on the outside. We're not involved in that community whatsoever. But from what I can see, I mean, Dan ended up getting it fair and square. I mean, it's kind of, and it also makes that part of my video that I mentioned earlier age kind of badly. Because now, like, he is, like, definitively the champ. It's actually kind of insane. But people, again, on the other side, I mentioned people, like, saying, like, who were on Dan's side. The majority of people are on MR's side because of the Summoning Salt video, especially, like, on the speedrun subreddit about that topic, about this happening. I didn't read the subreddit because I hate going to our speedrun. I'm not gonna lie.
r/speedrun.
Our speedrun is pretty bad. But I've heard there were like a lot of replies to that topic saying like, oh yeah, I saw in the Summoning Salt video, super scummy of Dan to do that. I'm not gonna congratulate him on his achievement whatsoever. It's like, dude, come on, man. Like,
I don't know. There's still part of my head where it's just like, if he could get the records back, he could just grind for it. Like speedrunning is just all about the grind, and if you don't have the grind in you, then
What it comes down to is Dan just had the time and the passion, and he went and did it. MR might be getting tired of the game, and then that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of the same way. Where back in 2014, I had a lot more passion and a lot more time to just go ham compared to nowadays, and even like nowadays, standards are way higher. So the fact that I can't go as hard, nor do I want to, is a big detriment, but I've still made some progress regardless.
The difference between you and not saying that you were the best SMS player of all time, maybe you were, I don't know.
That was always debatable. Like, just because I had all the records, there were definitely players like you had better skill than me, but yeah.
I feel like it's always debatable.
Yeah.
But when you got the 120 record, like you could say 4 out of 4 US Trey or whatever.
Yeah.
But like we all know that 79 and 96 were fucking.
Two of those are memes.
It's just like they were the biggest memes back then.
Yeah.
But 120, like you set yourself a goal for sub 3 hour, and you knew that when you got sub 3 and then took an extended break that you're still like you don't have any plans to go back to 120. Even though like you set for sub 3, you got it, and you didn't go, nobody's ever gonna beat this.
Yeah, I knew for sure. Like with a category that long and optimizations looming on the horizon, there's no way it doesn't last forever.
Yeah, and especially with like how active.
Forever.
Yeah, and with especially with how active Sunshine was and still kind of is.
And I'm honestly shocked it lasted for an entire year.
Yeah,
that was like it should have gotten beaten sooner, honestly, if Nanashi just played a little bit more. But yeah.
But it's just like a totally different situation, I guess, because he was like, oh, I'm the best in the world at this game, and then Dan was just like, oh, well, all these times, and then there was a little bit of back and forth, and then he was just like, well, I'm second in the world, I'm out.
Yeah.
Whereas you are just like you were top of the game, and then you're just like, I have less time, I'm still around.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at too, but not like whatever records or whatever.
But yeah, congratulations again on that. I get like back in the day, if you saw the Summoning Saw video, MR, there were 2 different times, maybe 3 different times. He was like 1 record away, multiple times. I forget which one.
Oh.
What?
I was just like, so he never got it. I just realized that you were saying that Dan was the first ever to get 32 out of 32.
MR was like 1 record away multiple times.
Oh.
On a certain, I want to say, I can't remember which track he didn't have, but it is like a sad tale considering like MR definitely deserved it at some point.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Where it's just like MR is just top of his game, 31 out of 32, 31 out of 32. This other guy, Unhordes, gets 32 out of 32. Yeah.
Well, he didn't unhoard to get 32 out of 32. He unhoarded to get world champ status.
Oh, okay.
Which just means he had the higher AF or lower AF overall.
Uh-huh.
And then the 32 out of 32 came later after grinding a lot more.
Okay, this everything makes sense to me now, but still I get why you would want to step away from the game.
Yeah, we can both see where MR is coming from, but at the end of the day, he should just not be as salty as he is right now, I think. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. That is, like, how long has he been playing?
Oh, dude, he's been playing since, like, 2012, probably. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Probably as long as we played Sunshine.
That must be, like, it just clued into me, or just hit me that he had never gotten 32 out of 32, but was at the top for that long. I was saying,
it's first time ever. That never been done before.
That's nuts. I can understand how that can be heartbreaking, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that's that topic, I guess.
That's that topic.
That's how I conclude a topic.
Mario Kart, that's that topic.
That's that topic.
Well, what's the next topic?
What's the better, more epic topic coming up?
We got... So I have a discussion topic.
Oh, boy.
I don't really have that many news things this week. There was a Rocket League update.
Hooray!
Me and my Rocket League pal Pyroshade have been grinding some Rocket League as of late. We actually did like.
Is Quan not your Rocket League pal?
Hey, he's part of the group. Mm-hmm. If I say, hey, anybody interested in RL or in Rocket League, and Pyroshade is the only person to say yes, I will play 2s. But if Quan's like, hey, I'm down, we'll play 3s. That's up to him. But there was an update. I find with Rocket League, quickly to get this out of the way, like sure, and we've talked about it in the past, I can sit and do speed runs, or if you have the grind in you, back to the Mario Kart Mario Kart 64 topic, if you have the grind in you, you can just sit and speed run if you're interested in the speedrun or the IL or the category, you can sit and do it for like multiple hours with like listening to podcasts or listening to something or streaming it or whatever. So I've done multiple streams of 12 hours straight, maybe not 12 hours straight. That's pretty up there, but like 10 hours straight, 7 hours straight of just ILs in speedrunning. Rocket League, it takes a lot more out of me.
Wait, would you say that Rocket League takes more out of you than doing full game runs?
I don't know.
Because ILs are different where you can just take a break whenever you want, but when you're stuck in a run and you have to consistently perform, I think it's a lot more exhausting.
Yeah, I think you're right. But it's also a team game versus a solo game. So it's like you can get frustrated with something that is really out of your control.
I think I'm the kind of person where, like, if my teammates mess up, I'm not really mad because I'm like, at least it wasn't me messing up.
see, I don't know. I think I
feel like I'm in the minority of that, though.
It depends. Like, it totally depends.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like every time Pyro fucks up, it's not that I'm or my teammate screws up. It's not that I get mad at him 100% of the time, but sometimes, like, I'm a human being. Sometimes I'm going to be frustrated by the thing. And you know what? He has the right to, when I screw up, not saying I'm perfect. When I screw up, he's allowed to get mad at me or like frustrated in the way that because we don't do calls. Like we aren't on Discord when we play. We literally just communicate in text and with quick chat.
Oh, that's so weird.
It is kind of weird, but it works well for us. Like
I could see that being the thing with Pyro, though.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not much of a voice call guy.
I do like it a lot of the time, though, when it's just us, because I can just, like, sit and listen to music and not have to, like, participate in a conversation. There's a lot of the time where I'm just, like, always talking to people. So it's nice to just, like, be able to, like, off-stream play with somebody and not have to talk. You know?
What if our podcast, we just flash text on a screen instead of us talking?
We just do spam quick, what is it, quick chat with the D-pad. It's like, great pass, nice shot. We just do that for the whole podcast.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
That would be super exciting. But so my whole point is we did like a 5-hour grind. Season 4 for Rocket League's up. We did like a 5-hour grind, which is like peak. Like that's the longest I can play Rocket League, I think. We did it like 5 hours straight of just game. And I got demoted to diamonds. we started champ and I got demoted in the end, but it's fine. And it was fun. It was good. It's just with the new update and everybody's excitement of playing every new season, everybody just kind of jumps back in, even though this week or this update, what do you think about this, Trey? They updated in Rocket League the number of people in a like section of the playlists, and by that I mean like when you hover over the like category where it's just like twos competitive or hoops or like there's just different types of Rocket League things that you can play. Like there's an ice hockey variant, and then there's basketball, and then there's just regular twos and regular twos competitive. When you hover over those options, it'll be like, oh, there are 20,000 people playing. All right, in this playlist. And then you go over to ice hockey and it's just like there are 3,000 people playing. Not nearly as many as twos, but like there's enough people that you could probably get a game. They updated season 4 and people are not liking it. They removed the numbers of people in the playlists and they replaced it with a descriptor of like good or amazing or
what?
Oh, what are
wait? So they use words to describe how many people are playing it?
Yeah, it's just like population : and instead of a number, it says good or
what does good?
Amazing.
What does good mean?
We don't know because both. I think at some point ice hockey had great at the same time as doubles had great, and there's no world where ice hockey had as many people as doubles. So it's just
what
like,
I'm thinking is it's for ice hockey, which I'm assuming always has less than like a regular mode.
It's great for it.
Yeah, it's great for that mode.
That's so crazy though,
so
right?
maybe great for that is like 1,000, and great for the other modes like 10,000.
Yeah, people are not liking this change, especially on r/r Rocket League or whatever. But yeah, that's the only like change that there really is. They added a map that looks just like, I don't know, 7 other maps, and but it's still Rocket League. So if you like Rocket League and you want to play Rocket League, you can still play Rocket League. I was having a little bit of issues.
Do you ever have trouble finding a match?
No.
So I mean, does it really matter that much?
The only way we know, because Pyro and I like switch back and forth leaders in our queue, and we play like a few. Nowadays, we're playing like a few doubles matches, and then we go to like a different extras mode. Just to like cool down. Where it's just like after a loss, sometimes we'll just like go play hoops, and then we'll go back to regular 2s and just go back and forth like that, so that it's not like 2s. We suck, and then like get mad. Instead, we go like, okay, 2s, we suck, hoops, back to 2s, like, and then we just like kind of mix it up a little bit. But we don't know if who like what anybody is queuing for. Unless, except for the queue time, where it's just like if we queue for 2s, it's just like immediate. You have a match, and then when we sit in queue for like 20 seconds, Pyro will sometimes type in the chat like hoops. Are we looking for hoops? Is this a hoops
just
match?
Like you like the worst loss ever. Wait a few seconds. Hoops.
Are we? This is a hoops queue, right? This is a hoops. Yeah. It's crazy. Sometimes, and I've described it as whiplash. In Rocket League, you can get utterly destroyed by somebody that you don't like. Like, it doesn't really matter for this example. Like, you could get utterly destroyed by somebody that you don't think you could, or don't think you should have been destroyed by, or whatever. You can be like 5-0'd, and you're just like, ugh. And then you can go into the next game and like just 6-0 or 5-0, just even within the same rank. And it's just the whiplash of Rocket League, where you just play like shit, or you played fine, but they're just way better than you. But I feel like there's just counters for playstyle in Rocket League, but that's just me getting into the Rocket League, the dog holes of Rocket League, as it were.
The inside baseball of Rocket League.
The inside baseball of Rocket League.
Which I don't. Yeah. All I know about Rocket League is your little car, you hit a little ball.
You know what? That's all you really need to know.
Actually, a pretty big ball. It's a lot bigger than the car.
It is bigger than the car. Yeah. That's all you really need to know until like plat, and then you got to work on a little bit more than that. But yeah, season 4 dropped. It's basically the same. People are mad that it's basically the same. I don't know. I didn't really expect anything.
They didn't change enough, even though we hate change and we're going to complain about change.
Yeah, everybody's just complaining. Whenever there's an update and it's just like, you didn't add enough to your free-to-play game, all of these things cost $20. I'm sitting there going like, I don't know, I'll just buy the Rocket Pass.
The only change they made on Twitter was the fonts and the colors.
Did you see that meme that I sent you?
Hey, which one was it?
The tuxedo mask meme for Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just like,
the Sailor Moon one.
Oh, it's just like the Twitter UI people. It's just like, oh, I guess our work is done. And then Sailor Moon looks up, just like, you didn't do anything. And then they just leave. Just like, all you did was change font and the color. The color of on mobile, they changed the color of like home and the search, like the buttons at the bottom.
I don't know why they keep changing the color of follow and following, and it's so confusing now.
That's a weird thing too.
Why would they change the follow button is like solid white?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't it just be blue? I don't understand that change.
I remember people like reacting to it on the day, and I'm like, oh yeah, things are why?
The only thing that's blue anymore is the tweet button. Maybe that's intentional. But it's such a white site now.
It's a white site now.
A very white site.
One of those white sites.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you know what? To stay with Trey's topic ending ability this episode, I will say that's the end of the topic.
Next topic.
Right?
There's a really dope account that you linked to me a few weeks ago. How long to beat?
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to just like maybe cover this. I'm looking at it right now. Essentially, there's a what's the handle? Oh, it's how long to beat.
How long to beat? Nice.
There's a Twitter handle called How Long to Beat. It's a very interesting Twitter. We don't fully understand how they get their stats. I guess it's either from like Steam or because some games are retro games, so they wouldn't be on Steam.
Yeah.
But essentially, it names a game, shows a picture of the game, says it takes an average of so and so hours to beat X game, and then so many hours for completionist, meaning like all the achievements are 100%, I guess.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of neat. Like I say, I'm looking at it right now. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is a game that I played thoroughly, 64 hours to beat, 254 hours to complete, which sounds about right because I'm pretty sure I had a little over 300 hours in Xenoblade 2, so the 254 number seems just about right.
There are definitely some on that account that we've linked and been like, yeah, this seems wrong.
Okay, one that I thought was totally wrong, like in the context of nowadays, Mario 64, supposedly an average of 12 hours to beat, 20.5 hours for completionist. That seems way too much for me.
See, you gotta put in the casual market, like the super. I guess casual
okay.
market.
So me, I have the best memory of my time doing a casual playthrough because my first playthrough of Mario 64 was on the 3D All-Stars version that came out, about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I believe that took me about 11 hours to get 120 stars on.
Oh, completionist.
So my completionist time was 11 hours when the average person takes 12 hours to just beat the game.
Uh-huh.
So, but again, I've seen like hundreds and hundreds of Mario 64 speedruns, so that might affect my ability a little bit.
I totally believe that. I don't know where I don't know where they could get it from because ultra casuals you wouldn't get their times for. Like ultra casuals.
Yeah, I don't know where do you get the data from on Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Like that's like a Genesis game. How do you
for Steam games I can totally see like getting that sample size.
PC games actually have stats that they're like available, but
but you wouldn't be able to know how long my mother takes to beat Super Mario 64. There's no way.
This is one, and a lot of these numbers are definitely like considering the plethora of people who just use a guide at some point.
Oh yeah,
which we call cheaters. Because so Ocarina of Time takes an average of 26.5 hours to beat, and then merely 38.5 hours for completionist.
No way.
That ratio sounds totally wrong. Like,
yeah, that is so.
It should
off.
I think it should be way shorter to beat, way longer to 100% than that.
No, that's right. You're right because in order to just figure out everything about the claim check side quest in Ocarina of Time, that's more than that. You're not figuring that out on your own. If you are using a guide, I can believe 38 hours.
I think that like
sure.
the vast majority of people factored in here used a guide at some point.
And the Dark Souls ones. I have never completed a Dark Souls like 100%, and I do not intend to because Dark Souls is the most convoluted thing of all time.
Oh my god, dude! If that includes DLC and stuff, there is so much like obscure stuff to find in Dark Souls.
Yeah. So like I don't even remember what the stat is, but I know that it was wrong. That's all I know. I was just there's no way.
What do you think completionist would factor in? Just getting every achievement?
I don't know because we were talking about this with the Witness, right?
Like, what are some of the most difficult achievements to get in Dark Souls? Are there like only be level 1 achievements and stuff, or what?
Well, aren't there things tied to? I could pull it up, but it would take me a minute.
A minute. I have it up right now. What do you want me to look at?
Well, there's achievements for every different covenant, right? In Dark Souls.
Yeah, like all the covenants, exactly.
And then there are secret achievements, so it's like you'd have to cheat in order to know what they are before you get them. Which they started doing, I don't know, pretty soon after achievements were really a thing. But I can't really think of any of the super convoluted ones because I probably never got them. Like, can you go through and see some of the achievements that you don't have that you're just like, I have no idea what this even means?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't imagine some of the things that you'd have to do.
Yeah, I don't know
Dark
what
Souls.
it factors in, but they said that it only takes an average of 43 hours to beat Dark Souls 1. It took me like 90 hours to beat Dark Souls 1. I was so bad.
Yeah.
But maybe people going into it already have more experience with those kind of games, and then, I don't know.
But then again, like I was talking about a few weeks ago when we were talking about Skyward Sword, I remember verbatim seeing my like time counter being at like 68 hours. I was going to say 69 hours, but then I cut an hour off so that it wasn't the meme number.
Oh, and also I tend to forget that I think like a solid fifth of my Dark Souls 1 playthrough was getting stuck in Anor Londo.
Oh yeah,
because I never knew to like just go on that little railing thing.
Gotta go. You just gotta know to go on that little railing.
Like
thing.
there was a solid 10 hours where I was just wandering the world, not knowing what to do.
I remember watching your Steam stream that you were showing me, being like, I know exactly where he has to go, and he's leaving Anor Londo right now. He's leaving. He's
I probably
leaving.
Looked so stupid. Also, T King was there too. He also knows what to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, I was like, I don't know what to do, guys.
The one most recent one, like there's probably a few. I remember seeing like a Silent Hill. How long does it take? I like looking at them, not necessarily to be like, oh, this is so wrong.
Yeah.
But I just in general. But we were looking at The Witness, and if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, Trey and I are big fans of The Witness. The Jonathan Blow.
We love Jonathan Blow.
We love him. Blow him up. Blow it up.
Blow it up, Jonathan Blow.
Jonathan Blow. But it was saying, do you remember what exactly the time was? I remember.
So I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
And it was 17.5 hours to beat it and 42 hours for completionist.
And the issue I have with it is, like, what did they consider as completionist?
And without spoiling anything, right?
Yeah. There's this whole subsect of things to do in that game, but as Trey said in our DMs, they're not tied to achievements at all.
Yeah, we don't. I'm of the impression that they're not factoring in a whole subsect of stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but that's a lot of my actual playthrough. Mm-hmm. Like not a lot of my playthrough, but a lot of my percentage of playing the game. I know that I played, because the game came out 2016. I played the game until like 2019, just randomly turning it on and exploring the world for this. And if you know The Witness, you know what I'm talking about. But the subsect of puzzles that aren't counted, and you look around for them, and the only thing that really changes in the end is like a small visual change to like certain objects, and that's it. After you get all of them, and I actually had to cheat to get like the last few of them, because I was just like, it's been 3 years. I'm not gonna find these.
Wait, also, when are you gonna finally cheat and get all the Korok seeds?
I'm never going to turn on Breath of the Wild ever again. I am done. Well, see, what do they consider for Breath of the Wild?
Actually, funny you mentioned that. They tweeted Breath of the Wild yesterday.
Oh, no.
And it's an average of 50 hours to beat and an average of 188 hours for completionist.
I believe it. Because now you can buy the DLC that gives you the Korok masks.
Right,
that gives you the ability to find them.
So, having some way of knowing where the Korok seeds are, that sounds pretty reasonable?
Yes.
Okay.
Super reasonable. 80?
188 hours.
Yeah, okay, that's super reasonable. Yeah.
Still shorter than 100%ing Xenoblade Chronicles, too.
It's definitely less than I've played the game, but people are more willing to cheat than I, even though I did admit to cheating. I will always admit to cheating. The two examples that I have for cheating are... there was the Witness with the 3 final subsect puzzles that we won't go into. Mm-hmm. And then Dark Souls. I actually cheated in Dark Souls, and I've mentioned it on the podcast.
Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 1.
Oh, and 1.
No, did I cheat in 2?
No, 2, that doesn't really count. I was just like, oh, the well.
Sure, 2. But in Dark Souls 1, where you have to go back, and people know about this, it's Dark Souls. Where you go back to Tutorial Island. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. I always call it Tutorial Island.
Which game?
In Dark Souls 1. Where you have...
Oh, the prison. What's it called?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. I'm so dumb.
Tutorial Island.
Tutorial Island. Yarhar, mateys.
When you go up to the bird, like I found out to go up to the bird and go and become an egg and then have him grab you. But my mistake, and I cheated for it, which is a dumb thing to cheat for.
Wait. I figured this out in that Steam stream.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at this dumb thing. I can just be an egg. wait a
Yeah.
minute.
See, if I was doing a stream,
Yeah.
I would have done the exact same thing. I would have been like, lol, and I would have sat there for 20 extra seconds. But it was 2011. Or 2012. I was sitting alone in my bedroom, and I was playing Dark Souls 1, and I was just like, I became an egg. Okay. And then I was just like, well, this is dumb. And I got up and walked away. and then I was just like, wait, what the and then just like, what's I think I basically just looked up what the hell is with this nest thing. I don't really know
you
what
Googled what the hell is with this nest thing.
I don't know what verbatim I typed.
You didn't even type Dark Souls. Just what the hell's with this nest thing?
What the hell is with this nest thing?
And then boom, instant YouTube video came up. Like,
yeah, just all
shit.
these Reddit posts. All these Reddit posts came up.
But, by the way, it's the Undead Asylum.
The Undead Asylum.
Tutorial
Island.
Tutorial Island.
But yeah, and I looked it up, and they were just like, yeah, you just have to sit there for 15 seconds, and I was like, fuck, you know. It's just like one of those dumb things that they put in.
Dude, if I wasn't streaming that exact moment, I probably wouldn't have found that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember when you got it, and I was just like, you know what, that makes sense. But
you were probably just sitting there with bated breath, like, is he gonna find it? Is he gonna find it?
I think nowadays I would do it. Like, even if I wasn't streaming, I would just sit there and be like, okay, a minute's passed, nothing's happened. Okay,
yeah, because
I'm
now
just gonna
you
leave.
know the extent that some game developers go to like hide secrets.
Yeah, I know the extent of some game developers being pricks. Yeah,
I know. You're gonna say something worse.
No,
being
just
pricks.
Being pricks, dude. They're just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna have them. It's just like the subsect puzzle and the witness. Just like, I'm gonna make them sit for an hour.
Yeah. No, not for an hour. Oh, wait, yeah, an hour. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm gonna make them sit for an hour, and I actually left my console running for that.
So whenever Jonathan Blow blows up the Switch or the Steam Deck with a brand new game that he's definitely making.
Yeah, for sure.
I really hope he continues the tradition, because in his 2 games that he's developed, Braid and The Witness, each game has its own hour-long waiting Easter egg.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is he going to keep that Easter egg trend up for the 3rd game? We'll see.
And that goes with our how long does it take thing, because this subsect puzzle literally takes an hour and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like this small side puzzle that doesn't go towards achievements or anything like that, it takes an hour. So it's literally, you have 41 of your other completionist hours have to be super efficient, I guess. But yeah.
And then some of these tweets are kind of dumb. It's like, it takes an average of 4 hours to beat Tetris. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
And then it shows on the 2 screenshots, it shows the cover of NES Tetris, and then on the other screenshot, some like PC version of Tetris. It's like not even the same.
Tetris Effect. Tetris Effect?
It's just like, it looks like Null Pamino, like the one that I was playing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, dude, what the 4 hours to beat Tetris? Okay, sure.
I know that Tetris Effect actually has a story mode. Or
like, yeah. Also, Tetris
like
Effect is coming to Switch, right?
I don't know anything about that.
Or wait, no, what's that?
What's that
recent Tetris game? Is that what it was?
The recent Tetris game.
What's like the really like HD fucking like has like that weird song?
I don't know what you're talking about.
New Tetris game.
I know that Tetris Effect is on Epic Games, and I have it on my wish list, and it's just like 33% off. I'm like, I'm not spending $40 on Tetris.
It is Tetris Effect. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, what's that new Tetris game? Yeah.
If it's anything more than like $35, I don't want to. I'm waiting for it to like go really down so that I can, because it's just Tetris. I'm not.
Yeah, that game is going to be on the Switch at some point as well.
Cool.
But it was a PlayStation exclusive for a while.
Yeah, it's on PC right now. I know that.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that was How Long to Beats. Check it out if you want, if you're on Twitter.
That is Trey. You have to end the topic.
And that is the end of the topic.
Thank you very much, Trey.
Next topic.
All right, I have a discussion topic as well. We have discussion topics.
New topic.
Okay,
wait. I like how you mentioned. Wasn't Rocket League your discussion topic?
No.
What discussion was there?
the RL. My discussion topic was just like, okay, I have this discussion topic, but first I got to get RL out of the way, and then I talk about RL.
You forewent the discussion topic.
For the record, I just need to get this Rocket League out of the way. All right.
Okay, now for discussion topic. Here we go.
All right, discussion topic. I sent you a tweet. Trey and I, often our DMs are filled with like tweet links, you know, like, wow, this guy's dumb, you know.
Wow, this guy's a prick.
Wow, this guy's a prick, you know.
The
memes,
usual.
You know, just interactions you have with a very close friend. And actually, I kind of wanted to mention okay, I'll get to my discussion first. All right.
Let's discuss something.
Worst video game franchise.
Damn.
I'm just gonna say it outright. So I was looking at Twitter this morning, and Max Ketchum, Max Ketchum, is that his name? The Smash Ultimate commentator, I'm pretty sure, or player. He tweeted out being Mario Party is the worst franchise. All stop. I don't know what the quote exactly was, but he was just saying Mario Party is the worst gaming franchise of all time.
That is a bold statement.
It's a bold statement, and I linked it to you, and my response and your response to it was basically like, I can see it, you know?
See, the thing is, did you ever play Mario Party growing up?
Yeah, a little bit.
See, I never owned a Mario Party game. None of my friends had Mario Party. So because I have like zero nostalgia for Mario Party, I have the most bias toward, it is like definitely overrated.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it's very overrated. I wouldn't say it's the worst franchise of all time. That's kind of a statement.
It's a statement because it's just like, it's a mishmash of a bunch of things. It's just like, oh, we're going to think of a small game for 30 seconds here, a small game for 30 seconds here. It's just like trail mix.
But there are good ways to do that. Like, I love the Warioware games. I played Warioware Inc. Mega Micro games on the GBA.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of micro games that you just do back to back and you react to, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but
the thing is, Mario Party, it's so heavily RNG to be as casual as possible that it's kind of dumb after a while.
Yeah, WarioWare I played on the DS. I liked the DS one.
Here's my biggest thought on this topic is if a game is enhanced or like almost has to be played while being drunk to be fun, it's not a very good game.
Rock Band.
There's, have you ever played golf? Yeah, you played with us one time, Golf with Friends.
Oh, yeah.
It's just sort of like a freestyle. You can like make custom golf levels, and you just it's like a mini golfing thing on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
That game is so fucking boring if you're not drunk.
Oh my god, I was so bored.
It is so boring. If you're intoxicated, it's kind of fun,
We played with the Mario Kart Double Dash group.
Yeah.
And just like we had like an 8-person game, and I bought it to play it. And I was sitting there, and I was throwing my golf against the wall. My golf. I was throwing my golf
against the wall.
I was just throwing my golf against the wall. I was throwing my ball against the wall to try to like bounce it off certain walls. And sometimes it was just clipping through, and sometimes it was just getting stuck in the wall. And I'm just like, this is so trash.
But yeah, that game, and in my opinion, Mario Party are only fun if you're intoxicated.
I refunded Golf with Friends.
Ooh.
And it's not even that I'm friendless. I just didn't. I started playing. I was just like, I do not want to play this. This is so boring. I just want these $5 back in my life rather than these. But yeah, worst video game franchise.
What qualifies as a franchise per se?
The same name.
I kind of got the idea.
Yeah, I was just like, what's a franchise? I don't know, Gears of War.
Yeah, okay.
Rock Band.
like worst franchise that I've had the displeasure of experiencing a game from?
Sure. But
it's like, chances are I've only played one game from the franchise and I thought it sucked, I didn't play another one.
This is a big question because KO and I a few weeks ago, we're talking about like worst game we've ever played, and I think he talked about it a little on the podcast where he was just like,
worst game you ever played. That's a different question.
Well, yeah, I know that's a different conversation because he was just like, yeah, well, the worst game I've ever played isn't going to be the worst game ever because why would I ever play the game that's worst reviewed on Steam?
Yeah, why would you go out of your way to do that?
Yeah, so like it's a taste question. Like, how much are you willing to go through? Right? But my answer for worst game I've ever played and I've had the experience of playing is not a franchise. Like I think there's only one of it.
Yeah.
And it's called Bulletstorm, if anybody knows the name Bulletstorm.
I think you've mentioned this before, but I can't remember what that game was.
It's from the developers of People Can Fly. or developers of People Can Fly. The developers People Can Fly who did like Gears of War Judgment, I think. And like they were affiliated with Epic. I don't know what they do now, but they made Bulletstorm, and it's a score-based first-person shooter that the score that you get is tied to how much money you have. Like, it is how much money you have. Like, you by doing special things in the environment, like kicking an enemy into a wall or doing essentially unique things to kill enemies into the environment, you get more score. Therefore, you'll get more money. Therefore, you'll spend more you'll spend that money, obviously. And I got to a point in that game where I got so, and KO put it really well in an offline conversation where it's just like, it's the game forcing you to be interesting with how you're playing it rather than the game inspiring you to do interesting things and be entertained by that. Where it's just like, instead it's just like, oh, you have to do interesting things in order to do well. Instead of being like, oh, you can do really interesting things. What are you going to do? You know, you have so many options. But in my gameplay, eventually I got so bored with it that I just kind of was going through the motions trying to finish it. And eventually I ran into a wall where ammo was actually behind a paywall and I didn't have enough score to get ammo to continue. And I'm just like, I'm out. Like, I can't. I'm not replaying any of this. And I'm so bored by you have to play me the way I want you to play it, which is quote unquote the interesting way, but it's not. I don't know.
Okay.
Bulletstorm, I hate Bulletstorm. It will forever be the game where if you ask me what's the worst game you've ever played, I will be like Bulletstorm, and people will be like, there will be people, even though nobody's ever heard of it, whenever I mention it, I'll be like, there's definitely a person out there who's just like, I loved that game. I know it, but they're wrong, and I know it.
And you're gonna seek them out.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know the worst game objectively I ever played because
objectively,
and actually I played it before AVGN, the Angry Video Game Nerd, actually did a video on it. It was the notorious Action 52. Have you ever seen that game?
No.
It's an NES game. It's a collection of 52 NES games on one game, which sounds like a lot. Like, 52 games. Wow.
Wait, what was the what's the developer of Donkey Kong Country? Rare, the Rare collection. Sorry.
Rare.
Yeah.
No, this game was not by Rare.
It wasn't as good as the Rare collection? What do you mean?
I don't think so. Basically, so it's a collection of 52 games, and they're all just beyond dog shit. Like, they're utterly broken. Like, half of them don't even work. One of them is just called, like, Alfred. I think it's supposed to be, like, Alfred in the Fettuccine. It's called, like, Alfred in the Fettic. Like, the names aren't even spelled right. And you're, like, a chef going around different floors. And, like, they aren't even... And, like, half of them are just, like, space shooters, and they're, like, really bad. But, yeah, Action 52, that's objectively the worst game I played. But it's, like... I intentionally seeked it out knowing it was total garbage, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really count that, I don't think.
What if you couldn't count it? Like, what would be what would be a game? I don't know. Since we're shooting kind of the shit.
Okay. So a game that I got, or like
thinking it was good,
or my parents got me, like, and I had like the impression, like, oh, maybe it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
So there's only ever one game I've ended up returning because it was so bad.
Oh no.
Like, we returned it, even though I was a kid, and like I shouldn't even care about returning stuff. It was that bad. And it was...
I just need this out of my life.
It was a Finding Nemo game on the GameCube. And you would think, okay, well, first of all, licensed game, bit of a red flag. Licensed games aren't always that good.
For sure.
Typically, they're not good. There's a few diamonds in the rough, like SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom and Simpsons Hit and Run are really good.
Hey, diamond in the rough, Aladdin. Aladdin's a really good old SNES game.
Hey, back in like the SNES days, I think they were a little more faithful to their games. Mm-hmm. Like the Lion King and stuff. Those are pretty good, I've heard.
Yeah.
But Finding Nemo on the GameCube, all I remember from it was it was a 2D. It's like Melee. It's 2.5D.
Yeah.
And you're
it's
swimming.
Like, it's melee. It's like melee.
It's basically melee. You're swimming around in the water as Nemo, maybe like the dad. I don't fucking know. And I believe most of the levels, you're just swimming through rings. So it's So first of all, it's 2.5D Superman 64, which is total garbage. On top of that, I believe it had the worst load times I've ever experienced in my whole life. There was like this loading screen of just, I think Nemo just like facing the camera looking dull for like 20 seconds, and it happened so often. And it was just like, it was like a puzzle game, and you swim through rings half the time, and it had god awful load screens. And we just straight up returned to like, this is so bad. This is I can't keep going.
When you suggest, so it's Superman 64, you fly through rings. There was the game, one of the games, and I'll never put it on like the worst games of all time thing, but one of the Switch games that I bought for 14 cents last year, like we did a podcast. I think one of the
I like that title, 14-cent game versus $4 game. it was like a BuzzFeed parody.
But yeah, I bought one of those games, and you saying that reminded me of I think it was a 14-cent game, maybe it was a 4-cent game, but it was being a paper airplane and basically like Flappy Bird. and just going through rings and going down and going up.
Flappy Bird was amazing.
But it wasn't Flappy Bird.
No.
It was a bad version of Flappy Bird. Did you know? I learned, I didn't know this. The guy that made Flappy Bird as like a joke.
It wasn't meant to be like a serious thing. Then when it took off, he couldn't handle like the pressure of everyone knowing him, so he just removed it.
I didn't know that.
It's true.
Yeah, I just learned that like last week, and I was just like, everybody probably knows this, and I do not know this.
You weren't there for like the mania of that all happening?
Yeah, no.
That was like the biggest thing on Twitter, like when that was happening.
I remember Flappy Bird existing, and then I remember he took it down, and hearing like rumors, but not like I wasn't really involved.
I was a senior in high school when that was big, and everyone in my school was playing it. I didn't ever get it actually. But like almost everyone had it, and all over Twitter, like everyone I followed, even like Mango was posting his high score. Like everyone was just like talking about it. And then one day when the guy announced, "Oh, I'm removing it, I can't handle the pressure," everyone was like, "No, I got to last minute download it." And like there were scalpers and stuff selling phones that still had the game on it, like a ridiculous price. Yeah, it was mayhem. But yeah,
I never knew any of that, but we've talked about how like my involvement in the internet like during that era was just kind of like not a thing.
Yeah. You weren't like super involved till what, 2015 or so?
Yeah, 2014. So it would totally make sense. And
this was early 2014.
Yeah, I wasn't really around.
Yeah,
but yeah, I didn't know that. That's actually really interesting that that's a thing.
Okay, so worst video game franchise. Do you have one in mind?
I have the idea of one because so the idea behind a franchise, like sure you can go into really nitpick. It's like, oh, I hate what's the Sonic game with the big cat? What's his name?
Cat?
Big the Cat.
I mean, there's a few games with him, like Sonic Adventure DX is the first game.
But the one where he fishes. The one where he fishes.
Yeah, that's Sonic Adventure DX.
Like, you can go into very specific games and be like, oh, this one's really bad or whatever. But like,
you haven't even played the cat fishing. Maybe it's amazing.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I've seen speedruns of it.
No, it sucks. I've played it.
I've only seen speedruns of it.
Yeah.
But to go into a franchise, it's like a game franchise that is bad is like there has to be some sort of basis where they have to continue making a game. Or it's just like Assassin's Creed 1 wasn't a bad game, and Assassin's Creed 2 wasn't a bad game. But I might put Assassin's Creed as like a really bad franchise, maybe not the worst franchise.
I was thinking Assassin's Creed actually, but I don't know if I'd say that. Because
Assassin's Creed, my argument for Assassin's Creed is that people literally had to make them stop making it because they got so bad. Or like so boring / broken when they were released.
Oh wait, that reminds me of an answer I might potentially give, but go ahead.
Because like, so in order to have a bad franchise, you just have to like, there's some momentum at the start. Like, sure,
of course.
Like Prince of Persia starts really well, and then like, there's some bad iterations of it, but it's like it's good overall.
I think that every franchise always starts out strong, so it becomes a franchise at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it falls off the wayside either really fast or just over time.
So like the idea of what's a really bad franchise is kind of interesting because there has to be good games in it.
Right. Or else it would have never been a franchise.
It would never have existed. So like the one that poked out or popped out was Assassin's Creed because just like I love Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It's like one of my favorite games. We've speedrun it.
See, Brotherhood is the only Assassin's Creed game that I've played.
Okay.
But whenever I see an Assassin's Creed game, it looks like the exact same gameplay from Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Just put in a different setting.
Exactly. And so, maybe it's just lack of idea or whatever, but eventually with Assassin's Creed, people were yelling at Ubisoft to stop making it because, like, Unity released without faces. Like, they didn't have faces during some cutscenes, and it was just... They were rushing out these games every single year, so people were just like, cool it. Cool it. Literally, you are...
And also, let us play without having you play. Thank you very much.
Just like, you are you are putting this into the ground. We hated Desmond. Desmond is gone. Good job. You made a few iterations in the middle after, like... right after Ezio, people were hating the game, and then they made, like, Black Flag and... Black Flag everybody liked, and then there was one after that people kind of were okay with, and then it was broken, and now Valhalla's kind of okay. But like overall, I think the audience response to Assassin's Creed might make Assassin's Creed one of the worst. I don't know about worst. I haven't really thought about it enough, but it's up there for worst franchise.
Okay.
That is at least still active, maybe. I don't know. But what were you thinking?
I have like 3 answers for this now. Goddamn.
Good.
So one I just thought of, even after the one that I thought of like a minute ago, Paper Mario. Possibly. I have only played... So, funnily enough, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door is... I'm going to spoil like for my top 10 list. It's one of my top 10 favorite games ever. I've completed Thousand Year Door at least 4 times. I've done... like almost everything in it except for like maybe the what are they called, like the tattles, there's like a separate like little mission thing you can do. I never did all those.
Yeah,
but I've beaten the game multiple times. I've done the Pit of 100 Trials multiple times. I love that game to death. But so after playing that game so much, I also played the first Paper Mario, but I got so bored of it towards the end game, I didn't actually complete it.
Is this Super Paper Mario?
The first Paper Mario, like the Paper Mario on Nintendo 64. It's just called Paper Mario.
Okay.
And I think that's because I was so spoiled by Thousand Year Door. And like, Thousand Year Door took so many tropes from Paper Mario 1 and either just improved them or removed the stuff that didn't work in that game. So when I finally got around to Paper Mario 1, I wasn't like super vibing with it the whole time, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, I haven't actually played another Paper Mario game. I hear that Super Paper Mario on the Wii is actually decent, but they changed the formula super drastically. Apparently it has like the best story, but I guess gameplay wise it wasn't so solid, supposedly. And then beyond that, there's just the notoriously bad like Sticker Star, Color Splash or whatever. Those are just like, everyone hates those games.
Yeah, the downturn.
And then I guess like Origami King was like decent or something.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything like super bad about Origami King, but it's not. I think a lot of the complaints were like, it's not as unique as we want it to be. Like there isn't as much character as we wanted it to be, but it's like it's in the right direction.
It's
one of those.
It sucks because Nintendo is so protective of their property now. Intelligent systems can no longer make like unique looking characters as much, or like they can't remix the Mario characters a crazy amount like they used to be able to do.
Yeah.
Instead to have like, oh, here's generic Toads and a bomb character and, you know, the usual. So considering that in that franchise, the Paper Mario franchise, you only really have to play Thousand Year Door to get like the full experience. Then the rest is just kind of either meh or awful. I'd say Paper Mario is a pretty solid answer to that question.
I like that answer because because Paper Mario has been like Thousand Year Door has been recommended to me. I don't know how many times.
See, you don't seem like much of an RPG kind of person to me.
I've played XCOM once,
and that's like a grid based Fire Emblem kind of game, really.
Yeah.
Actually, dude, I should play XCOM sometime. By the way,
maybe you should play XCOM. XCOM, I had a good time. I didn't quite finish it. I didn't quite finish it, but I wasn't it.
I was just gonna say because I love Advance Wars, Wargroove, Fire Emblem. I love all those kind of games. So
you do love those games. I have seen you play Advance Wars as your like pre-run game.
Yeah, during the intro cutscene.
I'm trying to think of more like really bad.
Okay,
franchises.
So I had two others in mind as well.
Okay.
So Guitar Hero.
See, I thought of Guitar Hero, but I don't know.
See, so Guitar Hero was amazing. GH3, I played so much.
Yeah.
And then like my one of my good friends had GH4 and GH5, so I played it at his house a couple times. Yeah, it's kind of a weird answer because it's always going to be about the same game, and then between games they add like maybe one new interesting thing.
Yeah.
But the problem with Guitar Hero was just the way they handled it, and they just God, it's so overblown. It was like 2 games a year, and like no one cared so fast.
They ran that into the ground.
I think the way they handled the franchise was just awful.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like if this question was worst handled franchises, that would be right.
Guitar Hero takes the cake because they
and Assassin's Creed would be in there too.
The only reason Guitar Hero still maintained any relevancy is because of Clone Hero, which was I think it was independently developed.
Yeah,
just on the PC, and it has like all this customization. You can play whatever song you want, and it has like all these options and stuff. Without Clone Hero, like no one would play that game anymore. I don't think.
That's the sad thing. Like I love Rock Band, and Guitar Hero 3 got me into that franchise, and then I bought like Rock Band and I've talked about I have the Ion drum sets.
Yeah, you were huge into the drums.
Yeah, I got Rock Band 1 on the Wii. I switched systems for the Xbox, so I had to get a whole new Rock Band 2 like whole kit again, and then I bought another drum set when it came around for Rock Band Beatles, and because I hit my drums too hard and the like pads came off, and I wanted to get new ones, so I bought new ones. And what was it? And I got Rock Band 3, obviously. And I bought like the arcade game that gave you extra songs for Rock Band. There was like a weird Xbox Live arcade game that came out that gave you extra songs, like 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies. I was just like, dope. I'll buy this $20 game so I can just get more songs. But yeah, I was really into Rock Band. And the sad thing about Rock Band is that Rock Band, to counter Guitar Hero, Rock Band was not handled badly. Like it wasn't driven into the ground, into the dirt.
Do you think Guitar Hero kind of screwed over Rock Band?
Yes, for sure. Because Rock Band had like Rock Band Beatles, and it had like a few. When it was on the Wii, it had some bonus tracks you could get instead of the DLC because you couldn't download any songs on Wii, so you could get the bonus tracks. And you had the DLC for Rock Band 2, Rock Band 3. There was Beatles and other things. Guitar Hero was Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero Metallica,
Guitar Hero Aerosmith,
Band Hero, DJ Hero.
I think what happened was, and maybe in a way, Rock Band was the catalyst that caused the downfall of Guitar Hero, because as soon as Rock Band came into the fray, Activision was like, fuck, we got to step our game up because the Rock Band's going to take our market share. And so they went a little bit too hard, then they went too hard.
Yeah, and instead of competing over a market, they oversaturated it, and everybody stopped.
And then everybody lost.
Yeah, and then everybody stopped wanting to have plastic instruments in their home.
Yeah.
And I see that's what's the sad thing. But like, I loved Guitar Hero 3. I bought Guitar Hero Metallica because I was a Metallica fan back in the day. But and no songs on that were insane. It was just kind of meh Rock Band. But like,
dude, Guitar Hero Metallica, you would think is like the best game you could possibly get.
It was fine.
Because Metallica songs like always make for really good Guitar Hero songs.
It was good. I bought it because I was just like, because there was like Guitar Hero, Aerosmith, and all that. But like alongside all of Guitar Hero, there was like the same. I don't know if we would put it into the same franchise, but it does have Hero in the name, and it's by the same developers. I'm pretty sure, where it's just like it's Band Hero because they were trying to go one-on-one with Rock Band and involve drums and stuff, and DJ Hero.
Yeah.
I don't know if DJ Hero really goes along, but like I know that it's the same kind of conglomerate, right? So they just annihilated everything anybody wanted to do with that. It was nuts.
It's a damn shame.
I feel bad for Rock Band.
I mean, to be fair, people were going to get bored of that stuff eventually, no matter what.
See, the thing is, they released Rock Band 4. Like, more recently, they did Guitar Hero do one? I don't know, but they did release Rock Band 4 on the newer gen consoles.
Yeah, I guess that was pretty recent.
And, well, in newer gen, I think it was PS4. So I guess not within the past year, but and there was like all this. I remember looking into it being like, oh, should I get the new one? And they were just like, oh, this is how you bring all of your songs up to the next system. And it was just like these hoops. Just like you have to jump through all of these hoops in order to make it so that you can get. And I'd have to play on an Xbox One, and I'm like, I don't know if my Ion drum sets will work. And I'm just like, I'm okay. We're chilling. I'm okay with whatever I'm doing. But yeah, so, I think you're right.
Yeah. So then my third possible answer, as much as it kills me to say this.
Oh no.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ah, yay.
Because, okay, I will admit, I'm a Sonic fan. I enjoy playing the old school Sonic games. Even the 3D ones, I have huge nostalgia boner for Sonic Adventure DX. I played that game so much as a kid. I also really enjoyed Sonic Heroes, which gets a lot of flack for some reason, even though it's underrated in my opinion. But then you have these stinkers that you can't ignore the stinkers in the Sonic series.
No, you cannot.
the second worst game I ever owned that I thought could be good, Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh boy. Dude, every time I played Shadow the Hedgehog, I did not have a good time. I'm sorry. Like, there was always some frustrating mission where you have to defeat 40 out of 40 enemies, and there are exactly 40 enemies in the whole level. If you miss one, you're shit out of luck. I'm sorry. You gotta like search the whole level for 20 minutes to find that one enemy you missed. It's so bad. And the level design was just garbage, and it was just like, oh, I'm so edgy. I gotta find that damn fourth Chaos Emerald. Oh, it's so sick. It's like, dude, Shadow the Hedgehog is so bad. And then, obviously, there's plenty of games like Sonic 06, and just plenty of games that we all know are just notoriously not good. And I haven't even played like any of the new Sonic games. I haven't played a Sonic game beyond. Well, like I played Sonic Mania. That was actually made by Sega though, and that was actually really good. But I haven't played like a modern, like actual Sega Sonic game beyond the GameCube era because I don't really have like any care to. But you know, with that being said, back in the day, especially when I was super into Let's Plays, I watched a fair number of Sonic Let's Plays and enjoyed them. But, I mean, whether or not it was for, like, the Let's Play personality or the game itself. But Sonic as a franchise, even any Sonic fan, including me, could admit, it's a mess.
Dude,
it's a huge mess.
As a non-Sonic fan, I am not a Sonic fan. I've played, like, half a Sonic game once. All I've seen is gameplay, and I'm just like, I have never been interested to play a Sonic game, ever.
I have played the majority of the 2D Sonics, because I had Sonic Mega Collection. It's still popular because the characters are so iconic, like with design wise, and it's just, I don't know. As games though, many of them do not hold up so well. I will admit, as a Sonic fan, I'll admit, I'll be the first one to say it. But there you go. Those are my three potential choices. There are those three franchises.
I do love Guitar Hero. I like for worst handled, I'm with Guitar Hero and Assassin's Creed being like the worst handled. I think best handled, and it might go like against the curtain because I can't think of like my only thought that I had, like I was kind of with Mario Party at the beginning and Assassin's Creed.
Well, okay, for me, Mario Party is more. I've just barely played them, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, they're just kind of mad. It's like, yeah, like maybe if you're with friends and you have nothing else to play, sure, I'll just play a Mario Party. It's not going to be like some life-changing experience though. It's just fucking, oh, here's a little game and. The winner is going to come down to luck anyway, so who cares? Yeah. So, yeah.
Mario Party is how I figured out that I was terrible at mashing because my cousin who was terrible at mashing, or not terrible at mashing, who was really good at mashing, who doesn't play video games, I don't remember which Mario Party was, but Mario Party nerds will probably know the one where you have to mash to grow the sunflower. I don't know which game that's
there's many
in.
mashing games. The most notorious is the one where like you hammer that thing and like the womps appear in a series of dominoes.
Thwomps?
I think they're womps.
Are they womps?
Womps have feet. Thwomps fall on you like from above.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. Fuck you.
Okay, sorry. I've always gone back and forth with that. But
No. Womps have the feet.
I remember playing that game. I don't remember anything else about that session. I remember being in my cousin's attic playing with like my two cousins and my sister, and I was the video game player.
Yeah.
Or well, I was a kid, but like I was the video game player along with my cousin, and we all lost to my other cousin who doesn't play video games. It's just like she grew that sunflower insanely. I don't know how she did it.
That,
but I'll never forget.
Also, another thing that sort of puts a sour taste in my mouth is the majority of my Mario Party playtime was with other speedrunners. Like if I'm at an AGDQ event or something, we'll play Mario Party maybe once or twice. And I'm playing with other like elite speedrunning gamers, right? Elite level gamers.
Other, like me, elite gamers.
And I see, the thing is with me, I have a very solid one-handed mashing method. I can mash with one hand because of text boxes and stuff. I can mash pretty consistently like 11 to 12 hits per second with just one hand. The problem is that I have never developed a two-handed mashing method, which allows you to get like into the realm of like 16, 17, 18 per second, even in the 20s if you're really insane.
Yeah, zombie hovering for Wind Waker tier.
See, like, I've never had a need because in speedrunning, in the games that I play, you never have to have a really good two-handed method. But in Mario Party, having a really solid two-handed mashing is so crucial for those minigames. And I'm up against like top-tier speedrunners that we're just hanging out with. And these guys can mash like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, I'll get my little one-hand mash, get my cute little, 12 a second. And these guys just like easy 160 out of 160, like the maximum you can get like on the mashing games every time. Like I remember Cathalon, dude, Cat's a god gamer. I think it's called Domination, the Womp minigame that like Ludwig was so good at.
Yeah.
Cathalon could consistently, without fail, get the maximum score on Domination every single time, and I cannot even get close. So you're up against that, and it's like you have these mini games like with mashing. If you're not good at mashing, it's kind of like meh. And then again, the mini games hardly even factor in sometimes because like some crazy RNG thing, someone would just give someone 2 stars and they'll win the whole game.
Yeah,
it's just kind of dumb. It's just a game to get drunk to and not really care about. So Mario Party is kind of lame in my opinion.
Well, okay, so for gamers, like super hardcore gamers, for elite speedrunner gamers, Mario Party is the worst franchise.
There we go.
Maybe. But so what I was going to say was I think to contrast best handled or worst handled franchise, best handled franchise, I think one of the best handled franchises, and love it or you hate it nowadays. I don't play it nowadays, but we've had so many guests that have played it. Like we all went through our Call of Duty era, and I think that is the best handled franchise ever.
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Even like factoring in all the stinkers in that series.
Well, factoring in all the stinkers, like where it is now. There were a few stinkers like between the like Xbox 360 era to now, but like
what was it like Advanced Warfare and Ghost weren't received too well?
Yeah, it's just like
realistic fish AI.
Advanced Ghosts. Your companion was the dog, or like whatever. I can't remember. There was like a little bit of drama with Call of Duty and like.
I mean, considering there are just so many FPSs, it's not even funny.
Yeah. And
how Call of Duty, obviously it was just like the number one game to play for a while.
Yeah.
But it still holds up now as they're like expanding out into like Battle Royale and stuff. Like it's still a household name. It's definitely held up.
See, I wouldn't say it's the best franchise of all time, but like if we're talking about like best handled.
Yeah, they knew how to evolve with the times, and like ever since Modern Warfare came out, they were just like on top of the world.
Yeah, just like, well, what's funny is like Call of Duty 1 came out and it was just kind of like whatever. Medal of Honor was out. I think Medal of Honor was more popular than Call of Duty 1.
Yeah, that's the thing is Call of Duty, like the first 3 games were not as popular as Medal of Honor. I remember that.
Yeah, and then Call of Duty 2 came out and it was okay. Call of Duty 3 was like where it was like kind of started taking off, and Call of Duty 4 was like, bam.
Yeah, COD 4, my brother and I played that so much. Like I played the campaign so much in that game. It was really good.
And then like Black Ops, and everybody loved Black Ops, and then after Black Ops and Modern Warfare kind of petered, they didn't really know what to do, and then Blacklist now, like everybody, I think that's one of the more popular games right now. I don't know personally, I don't play it, but I know that like Huff, like a few of our friend group played it for a while, and is it Blacklist? Is that what it's called? Right? It's Blacklist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The newer Battle Royale.
It's
right?
called Blacklist.
Isn't it called Call of Duty Blacklist?
I couldn't tell you.
I think that's right. Hold on, you talk.
Hold on, I'm Googling this.
No, I have to Google it. No, we can't both Google.
Oh, Call of Duty Blacklist.
Woo! Yeah!
Wait. This is from 2014. What?
Okay, more Googling.
I don't think you're right.
Black something, I don't know. Call of Duty.
Black Ops 4.
Call of Duty Battle Royale. What is it called? Warzone.
Warzone. Where did Blacklist come from?
I don't know. There's somewhere in my brain.
I was just going along with what you were saying. I was like, "Yep, sounds right to me." Blacklist.
Yep, Blacklist. Call of Duty Blacklist.
Of course, Blacklist.
Of course, everybody plays that game. But yeah. Warzone. A lot of people were playing. I know that it's popular on Twitch. That's my bad. You know, I'll take credit for that. It's not Trey's bad. It's my bad. I should know.
No, you're
that
good. You're
Warzone
good.
exists.
You know more about Call of Duty than me right now. So
I'm just saying that, like, maybe right now they're not the most unique thing. It's like, oh, Battle Royale.
But no, considering FPS is so big and there's so many trying to be the biggest FPS out there.
Yeah.
That the fact that it's still relevant after so many iterations, so many games in the series of just essentially just generic war shooter, like maintain that level of fame is pretty remarkable. So,
what was it? What are the developers? It's like Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity.
Infinity Ward was like the first one. Right?
Infinity Ward. So to go along, like I'm saying, best handled. Remember, and then there was all that drama with the Infinity Ward, like leadership that they fired.
Right.
And then they became the developers for the game that Phoenix runs.
Oh, I forget what that company was called.
I can't remember. But they all went off and made their own company. So maybe not the best handled, but like, but for like popularity, like scaling Call of Duty. But like, I'm just thinking back, it's just like, oh, remember when there was all that drama in like 2013 when they fired the leadership of Infinity Ward? Wow. Like that's actually insane that I just remembered that and talk about how well handled their franchise is. But yeah, God, I can't remember.
It's been a roller coaster of games, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember what that game. What?
You mean the game Phoenix, like Titanfall?
Yeah, Titanfall. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a franchise that exists.
I hear that's good.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I can't think of any like terrible franchise. Like all the options that I had were like, I don't know, just recently on a dip because like Microsoft is just kind of not being very creative. Like Gears of War, like who cares about Gears of War now?
See,
Halo.
It's a very interesting question because, again, like you said, the answer will always include good games.
Yeah.
But
so
it's just how they handled it, how like maybe the majority of other games aren't so good. Mm-hmm. Like in the case of Paper Mario, it's kind of funny I say that because I've only played 2 of those games. But from what I've heard extensively, I can go out on a limb here and say that. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've never played a Paper Mario game, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you're on my side. So
I'm on board.
There we go.
But yeah, the only ones that I was thinking of were just like franchises that, Microsoft or whoever franchise can't think of a new IP, so they're just making another Halo. It's like, okay, awesome.
I think the best handled, Legend of Zelda.
Dude, I was thinking of like best franchises. I think Zelda's probably
Zelda never misses.
And when it does, it's just kind of like, eh.
Like, considering that Skyward Sword was considered a flop and it still sold like 4 million copies, it's like, yeah, okay.
It was a flop, and it's regarded as I've seen like a few videos lately talking about Skyward Sword being like, it's regarded as one of the worst, and I'm like, it's not that bad. You know?
Yeah, I can't bring myself to play Skyward Sword just because, I don't know, looking at that game, it just makes me mad for some reason.
Like, yeah.
Looking I don't know what it is.
It's just the clouds.
I think that the Ego Raptor video poisoned my mind too much.
Bomb bowling.
Because it's just like, oh, look, this game is just going to automatically get credit because it's a Zelda. And now that's in my mind. It's just like, I don't want to prove it right that I'm only playing because it's a Zelda, so I can't play it.
What is that little character? He has that little like Skyward Sword character. Like,
yeah, hey, the little white, like a Wii or something.
Hey, you talking about me?
Oh, come on, man, it's not that
bad. Hey, you talking about me? No, I'm talking about a good Zelda game.
I'm not talking about you. Yeah, dude, Ego Raptor. Oh my god, I think I've said this before. Ego Raptor's sequelitis videos were so ahead of their time.
Oh, it's so good.
Like the Mega Man video, dude, those are some of the funniest videos, and they were like 2011 when they came out.
Riding on cars.
That
was what I feel like. The Ego Raptor videos are one of the first videos that Trey and I actually like.
Like
you and I bonded over.
I wish that the videos that I make on my channel were like a fifth as good as the sequelitis videos were. Those videos are so good.
They're so even though I love Ocarina of Time, and it has a special place in my heart. Like he can talk about how shit the combat is, or like how great Link to the Past is, and I don't even like Link to the Past. I'm just like half an hour. I'm like, sure, I'm watching all of it, and it's the best video of all time.
Yeah, Ego Raptor, dude. I wish he really leaned more into the video essay style versus just Game Grumps, because he's like an insanely talented video essayist for sure. Like he has like the comedy, obviously. He can do animation to add to it. He brings up really good points for the most part. So yeah.
I'm just thinking about that little Skyward Sword guy being like, hey, you talking about me?
Yeah.
It's just like, you're saying something good. Are you talking about me? Nope. Not talking about you.
And then he has like the little gimmick where that girl from Mega Man's like, Mega Man.
Oh yeah, Mega Man. It's like,
that's not a hammer, Joe. He'll throw his mighty hammer. Shut up.
Yeah, because he's doing the EGAD. She's the EGAD.
She's the EGAD of Mega Man.
Yeah,
I forget I never played Mega Man hardly. I don't know what her name is.
No, he's making fun of like, oh, this game doesn't have that.
Yeah. That's why it's so good.
That's why it's so good. It's just like, oh, it doesn't go like, oh, there's a big pit. Hey, Mega Man, there's a big pit in front of you. How you got to get over it? And then, but like the game itself teaches you. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I haven't watched the Mega Man one in a while, but yeah, I remember that.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a great video. But I think the thing that frustrates me about Skyward Sword is the gray clouds. Whenever I see anybody flying, I'm just like, this looks like the worst game of all time.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, people complain about Wind Waker sailing. The sailing at least feels kind of epic, right?
Yeah.
Like, what fun is there just flying into these yellowish, like, fucking boring-ass clouds?
These piss yellow clouds.
I almost said magenta. That's not magenta.
These magenta clouds.
These, sepia tone clouds.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem that fun to me.
I talked about it with the just like you feel so epic when you're on the boat. Like, sure, you spend a lot of time on the boat, and maybe you eventually get sick of the boat. Sure, but
dude, I don't care. Dude, I know as an adult, looking at the boat, it looks pretty boring now, and especially when you know it's like, oh, it's just this grid of little islands that either have a random mini game or they're like a big island of there's people here. But as a kid, to me, it always felt kind of epic.
I always wanted it to work like Pac-Man. I always wanted the grid to work like Pac-Man, where if you like went off one, you would go on the other side. Oh, it's like
a maze, kind of?
No.
Like Pac-Man, like a Pac-Man maze.
Like a Pac-Man maze, sure.
A Pac-Man maze of islands.
If you went down the middle.
Oh, like it wraps around.
Yeah, like it wraps around.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I was thinking like you meant instead of just like a grid of stuff, it was like there were actually just like dead ends and like little routes you had to take through like giant stone structures maybe and stuff.
Dude, I think in a game nowadays, and I just thought of it, I think in a game nowadays, or if they made Wind Waker today, they would have done it, and they would have written in like, oh, it seems like Ganon's dark magic hasn't, or some bullshit, because like the thing where you leave. hold on. I have a thought. I have a thought.
Oh, go ahead.
Stop laughing at my pre-thought. I'm developing a thought as I'm going.
I had a really funny thing. Go ahead, though.
Okay, you have the grid. I don't know how many fucking islands are in it, but in when you go outside of it in Wind Waker, it goes like, oh, you can't go out this far. Yeah. And then it just kind of turns you around and goes back in. If they made it nowadays, they would have had it loop, but they would have written it in a way where it's just like the King of Red Lions goes, oh, Ganon's dark magic or some BS has made it so that you can't leave this arrangement of islands or something. So like,
yeah,
it just automatically loops you over. But like once you're finished the game, once you beat Ganon, we can leave and do what's the sequel?
Wait, where the hell?
Phantom Hourglass?
You explore the whole world?
We can leave and do Phantom Hourglass.
It'd be like some Pokemon Gen 2 shit.
Would it?
Isn't that the game where like you can go back to like the first
Kanto.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. It would be well,
I just thought it was funny because you can just use Ganon's black magic to justify anything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just like, man, this sounds so cheesy. This sounds so cheesy, but like this is so Zelda.
Yeah. But it's funny because I'm pretty sure they've done that like plenty of times before.
It's like, oh,
like,
Link.
Oh, you can't progress to this area of the game yet because of Ganon's black magic. Sorry. It's just so convenient. You can't do this yet.
Sure, it's just like, oh, I can't target him. I can't be by his side. I can't make you target Ganon during this final fight because of his dark magic. It's like, oh, okay, but then when he's Ganon, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna let him keep me down this time. It's like convenient, I guess. I don't know.
No, see,
That's
my
weird.
idea. Okay, here's my remedy idea. So you had your Ganon's black magic idea.
Perfect.
See, my idea is that it does loop. But at some point, the King of Red Lions tells you, this is the same universe as the Pac-Man universe, so it just works this way. All right? It just has Pac-Man rules where it loops. Okay, no big deal. All right?
They should make a Pac-Man island. It wouldn't be too far off.
Yeah, then Pac-Man's even just... it's actually by Namco, the whole game.
It's actually by, Nintendo Namco.
Actually, funny enough, I'm still playing through Tales of Symphonia, and there's actually a Pac-Man statue in the game. I sent you that picture, right?
I don't think you have.
It was the one with the Amogus thing.
Oh, yeah.
On the picture, I'm looking at a statue, and it just says Pac-Man. Because the game was made by Namco Bandai. So it's like, all right.
All right, well, Tales of Symphonia.
Nice reference. The main reason I sent him that screenshot is because there was another statue of just like an enemy in that area. And it's like, dude, this looks just like Amogus. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but I'm seeing it everywhere. My brain's poisoned.
I like the nice reference, and it's just like, oh, there's just an insert of Pac-Man just there.
That was just like, yeah, we're gonna flex that we made Pac-Man really quick. All right.
Yeah, we made Pac-Man. It's like,
and we make RPGs. So what up?
What up YouTube?
But yeah, speaking of Tales, I'm piece by piece inching my way through that game. Let me tell you, it is a lot harder to make progress in a giant open world RPG when you're employed versus unemployed.
Yeah, and making a video and... Yeah.
I played like 300 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 within the span of like a month and a half because I was unemployed.
Yeah.
That was like all I was doing that whole time. I was so addicted. And whereas Tales, I'm doing like maybe an hour to a couple of hours every few days, just like really piecemeal, inching through it. I'm about like 40, maybe close to 50 hours in now. I think I'm pretty far in it, but still playing that. And then after I beat that game, I'm either going to play, while I'm not grinding any percent attempts because I'm working on, actually I've done voiceovers for my spin jump video I'm currently working on. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, not grinding streams of any percent. I'm either going to get into Dark Souls 3 or play a different game called Everhood, which is that game where I saw a dude dodging Guitar Hero notes, I think is the game.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked kind of cool. I saw one of our good friends, Jay Buzzy B, playing it. I was like, Everhood looks kind of interesting. I'll try it out maybe.
Been on the podcast,
It looks like picture a quirky Undertale type game except the whole mechanic is you're dodging rhythm game notes
Yeah.
as gameplay. I was like,
like-
maybe I'll try it out.
It's like Cryptid the Necrodancer in a way.
Yeah, except not at all the same gameplay.
But like it's rhythm.
But yeah,
based.
it's like pixel style.
Don't you
rhythm.
laugh at me.
Yeah, sorry, that was harsh. That
was mean.
It's like a pixelated, quirky rhythm kind of game, all right? So
that's
maybe I'll try that out.
Yeah, I remember seeing a little bit of gameplay of that, and I was just kind of like,
Yeah, it might be cool. I don't know.
I'm picking through. I haven't played. It might be the video that's playing in the background now. I don't know yet, but I'm playing Abduction, and I mentioned it a little bit last week.
Oh, right.
With from creators of Myst and Riven. It's kind of broken in a way.
No.
Like there's this trolley car that you have to drive around a bit, and I don't know if it's like it's probably the game issue. I can't really. It was free on Epic Games, so that's why I'm playing it, and that it's from the creators of Myst and Riven. But it has this trolley car that you operate. So there's this little camera in the trolley car, or like on this tray. Like what? It's a cart on a track. It's a cart.
It's like it's on the rails.
Yeah, it's on the rails.
A monorail?
No, it's like a little. It's like a fashion. It's just like a little cart.
All right, I can picture it in my brain.
You'll be fine. Just picture
a
a cart, and and there's a door that opens, and then you bomble. Right.
A trolley.
And you get in, and so you can move your camera independent of everything else in the cart. And then there's also a thing, like there's a little screen on it that you can move the camera of that. So there's like essentially a camera on the cart, or like a laser on the cart that with a camera positioning on it, and then like you can turn the camera of that has that little screen in the cart. But the game gets confused, and when you move the camera of the thing in the car or in the cart, it goes, "Oh, you can't control your own camera now." So and the only way to make the game remember that you as a character in the video game can move your head is to like, there's a snapshot feature in it where, because the game's really pretty. Like I've shown you screenshots of it. It like of the sky and stuff, and it's kind of laggy.
How new is this game again?
I don't know what year. I just know I don't know anything about the year, but it's really pretty. And it has the snapshot feature just like Mario Odyssey. Maybe not just like Mario Odyssey. You can't like zoom out.
You mean like any Switch game?
Yeah, like it likes taking snapshots.
like the Switch.
And the only way to make the game remember that you as a character have the ability to move your head side to side, so like your camera, is to take a snapshot, and then it remembers, oh yeah, you have a head that you can move side to side, instead of moving this cart camera. So it's just kind of like this big weird hassle and dumb kind of, but other than that, it's kind of interesting. But
so this is like a puzzle game?
Yeah, kinda. At this point, I haven't really run into a puzzle, really.
Okay.
I've just it's been my experience with this game so far is like, oh, find this thing, and then spend like 10 minutes trying to find like a really deep detail that I kind of like overlooked, and then go to it. But eventually I'll probably get to puzzles, but it's more just like just do what feels right. Isn't really like, you don't really run up to like a slide puzzle and go like, oh, you have to arrange these pictures, or like there's
like here's a line puzzle like the Witness.
Yeah, there's nothing straightforward like puzzles, but it's just kind of learn the environment at this point, and hey, you had to fill a thing with gas, and know how to fill it with, like, start a generator with gas. I feel like that's
on fire.
I feel like at this point the only puzzle is that I've finished is filling a generator with gas, which
I'm having a really hard time picturing this, but I'll see the gameplay on screen if we use that.
Yeah, I'm really sad about the snapshot thing where it just like because there's two cameras independent of one another, right? And the game just gets confused and then forgets the first camera, and then just you can move the cart camera essentially, and then it goes, and then you try to move your head, and it just doesn't work anymore. Like, you can't move left and right. And then you have to take a snapshot, and then it just resets, which is meh. And it's not that bad, but I haven't gone back to play it since last week. But that's my casual. Other than that, it's just Rocket League and like Sunshine stuff.
But
That's
Mario
me.
Sunshine still has the worst camera ever, right?
Yeah, it's the worst camera. My
There's
God.
no camera worse than Mario Sunshine. Oh my God. They only give you 3 options to move it around. It's so bad.
Where's the long jump, though?
Sunshine sucks. Real worst
God.
game.
I can't
Anyway,
believe they did that.
we are being as sarcastic as possible if that wasn't already clear.
We do love the Sunshine camera. But you know what? I didn't, at the end of the franchise conversation, was that the last topic we had?
Yeah, I think we can end on that note.
I didn't go end of topic. And you know what? After that topic, I'm gonna say it's coming up to the end of the podcast.
End of podcast?
End of podcast? Question mark?
That means there's no more topics.
Yeah. So yeah, this has been episode 8 of season 2 with Average Trey and Sided Williams. Video games are hard. Listen on Spotify and Google Play. And leave a comment.
Sorry, they changed it from Google Play to Google Podcast.
Google Podcasts. Leave a comment on the YouTubes. We read them.
Oh, yes, we read them.
And sometimes we respond to them. My God.
If you're lucky.
And next week, I'm going to do the exact same bit. Hey, it might be the guest starting. I don't remember how I did this last time.
We don't know who's going to introduce it next time, to be honest with you.
But it could start right now.
If you're in the future, bye.
If you're in the future, bye.